buff this in. I don't know why those ones did not come out of my mouth. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, which is all about beauty. You will have to excuse me right now. I have a bit of a cold, so please excuse the watery eyes and my voice. But anyway, this video today is about whether you should be applying concealer before or after foundation. This is a question I get asked all the time. I even get people commenting on my videos saying, why on earth have you put your concealer underneath your foundation? So I really want to answer that today. But on top of that, I really want you guys to see which side you prefer. And I'm also going to be taking you out with me later on in the day so that you can see what it looks like in daytime and also back in the evening to see how well each side actually lasted. So before we head into the video, if you do like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit that bell button so that you never miss any of my future videos. And you can catch me on Instagram where you can watch my stories for some daily beauty news. Now let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so I have my skincare on and the only other makeup bits that I have on is concealer on my upper lid. I've set it with powder, I've put some mascara on and I've done my brows. Now, let me explain what I'm going to do in this video. On this side, I'm going to be doing concealer on top of foundation. On this side, I'm going to be putting my foundation on top of my concealer. Now, those of you who have watched me for a very long time or are loyal followers of mine on YouTube, you guys know which one I prefer. And I have had a lot of people commenting about my technique, questioning it basically, and that's the big reason why I'm doing this video, because a lot of people have been commenting saying, I don't understand why you put foundation on after your concealer because it just covers everything up, what's the point? Or some people have said, I don't get why you've done it that way. Every other YouTuber shows us the other way, like concealer on top of foundation, so why are you doing it so differently? This is why I'm doing this video. My aim with my channel is to completely educate and elevate your makeup game and make you understand your facial structure and make you be the best pro at your makeup. So I want to explain to you, I want you to think outside the box, and it really saddens me and frustrates me when I see people commenting who think that there is only one way of doing something. There isn't. And as a makeup artist, I'm extremely creative, and I believe, and I have learned over my years and years of experience, that you can use makeup in so many different ways. And the sad thing is that there are some YouTubers or people out there or artists, whatever, who show a certain technique and say that this is the only way. It doesn't mean that that is the case. There are several ways to apply makeup, and it is really about what suits you, what suits your skin type, your skin texture, your skin color, your personality and your style. So I really want you to understand that, keep an open mind. And this video is not about what is the wrong way, what is the right way. I want you to know that this video is about you seeing both techniques and taking away whichever one you prefer and making your mind up about it. You might prefer one side that I don't like. I will prefer the other, but it isn't about who's right or wrong. This is about what you take away from it and what suits you. So I would really recommend going away, trying both sides for yourself on your face, and then seeing what you prefer. That is the only way you're gonna know what works better. Don't look at this as, well, that's the wrong way and this is the right way. So let's start. Now, my first step was my skincare. I've already done all of that. I don't want to focus on skincare because honestly, everyone has a different skincare regime, and I really want you to just, focus on the makeup side. Okay, so I'm going to apply my foundation on this side, and I'm going to finish off this side first and then move over to the other side. And when I get to the other side, that's when I'm going to explain why I do that side the way that I do it and the benefits of it according to me and why I love it so much. Now this side, I'm just going to go ahead and apply it. And I do know that everyone has a different technique of application. I'm just going to apply this in my way. So I'm going to apply it with a beauty blender, which is damp, by the way. So I'm gonna apply this in my way because I don't want to intentionally make this side look worse. It isn't about what looks worse. It's really about what your preference is and you taking away the best part of it. I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, which is damp, and I'm going to apply this just all over my face. Guys, I don't really remember the last time I actually applied foundation first and then concealer. You never know, I might end up liking this side, so let's see what happens. I can't imagine I will, but Also, by the way, guys, I'm actually gonna head out after this. I know I'm crazy, right? I'm gonna go out with like half a face done in one way and the other side in one way. And I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna film while I'm out to show you a little bit later on at the end of the day to see what it looks like. Because I love you guys so much that I put myself through this kind of crazy stuff. I don't care what it looked like. I'm just gonna go out. I'm hoping there's not gonna be too much of a difference. There needs to be some, otherwise what's the point, right? But, you know, let's see how it goes. Okay, so I've got my foundation. I'm gonna try and make it as equal as I can. Okay, foundation done on this side. Now what I'm gonna do is go in with my concealer. I'm gonna apply my Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm just gonna apply this in the same way that I would do my normal concealer, like underneath, to be honest. I kind of use my concealer to contour my face. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with the same sponge and just start kind of buffing that in. Let me do these areas first. And you know what? This isn't just about what side you prefer. I really am interested to see which side sits better for the rest of the day. That I want to kind of test out as well. So let's see. So my concealer is done on top of that. I'm now going to go over with a little bit of contour. Now, I always use concealers for my contour, so I'm just going to go ahead and use what I would normally use. I'm going to use the NARS Creamy Concealer, and this is a darker shade. I'm just going to apply it there, that's all I really want. Now I'm going to use a brush to kind of buff this in. I think I'm going to go over with my powder right at the end when I've done both sides. So let's move on to this side now where I'm going to apply my concealer first. So I'm going to go in with my concealer in all the areas that I would, which is kind of more or less the same as the other side. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with my brush. Firstly, I like to kind of just buff this in and this bit here. And again, like I said, guys, I really wanna see which side lasts longer, which side looks more flawless later on in the day. Now I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and I'm gonna start buffing this in. I'm just buffing it in the same way I did on the other side. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with my contour. I'm going to contour the same areas. I don't want it to be any different. I'm going to buff this in. I don't know why those ones did not come out of my mouth. I'm going to buff this in, and same way as what I did before. Now, I'm using the same foundation all over, by the way. I'm using exactly the same products on both sides. By using the same products on both sides, I really want you guys to kind of see, like, have a fair viewpoint, you know? So anyway, let's go in. I'm gonna use my beauty blender. I've got my foundation, same foundation. I'm using a light to medium coverage foundation, by the way. It is the EX1. I'm gonna go buff it in, same way as how I buffed the foundation on the other side. Over my under eye area. There you go. Both sides, difference is the concealer is on top of the foundation here and the concealer is underneath the foundation here. I still think it's a bit early to tell, but I'm gonna be honest, I already much prefer this side. I feel like I've got that nice flawless clean finish on my under eye area, whereas this still seems a little bit, it's not so, you know, I feel like I've got that nice lift there as well. But anyway, let's go in with the powder. Now I'm gonna set both sides exactly the same because I really want this to be a fair trial of which side lasts longer as well. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take away the creases on the under eye on both sides. I'm also gonna just do this section the same. I'm gonna get my big stipple brush and I'm just gonna dust the powder off. Okay, so both sides are done. I'm just gonna like literally make all of this kind of equal example, because I haven't got any mascara on my lower lashes. I'm gonna put the same on this side because I need to look just at least like I've got the same makeup on each side. So that's done. I'm not gonna put any lashes on. I really don't want to really take away from the whole like base look. Okay, so I am gonna put some bronzer and blush on because I feel like otherwise that isn't really what I would usually do, like go out just like this. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna use my Fenty Private Island bronzer. I'm gonna use my Hourglass dual-ended brush, my favorite one, and I'm gonna just start putting my bronzer on each side exactly the same as I would do on a normal day. I will very quickly just do my nose because otherwise I feel like I've just forgotten something. This is like the quickest nose contour ever. Okay, so in order of how you apply products on each side, on this side, step 1 is skincare, step 2 is foundation, step 3 is concealer, and step 4 is setting powder. On this side of the face, you have step 1, which is skincare, step 2, concealer, step 3, foundation, and finishing with step 4, which is setting powder. Okay, I think I'm ready to head out, but I do want to just go through what I've just done, right? I can't really comment on this side where I've put the concealer on top of the foundation because I don't work that way. I don't even do that on clients, and I definitely don't do that on myself. So I'm just going to leave that as it is, and like you guys know, however people may apply it. I put things on this way. I put my concealer underneath. I hope this in itself is actually very hard to see the difference. And I can personally see a small difference, but there are a couple of things I want to take away from this. What I want you guys to take away from this is, one is the look in general, but it's very hard to see straight away because your makeup, when you first apply it, it looks very fresh, like it's just done. And you've got to leave it on for a little while. And then once your natural oils and your skin come through, that's when you can really see your makeup it's settled down now, and you can see what it's going to look like for the rest of the day. So we've still got to wait for that, which is why I'm going to take some, I'm going to film a little bit later as well so that you guys can really see the difference in like after, well, the whole day. So I want to see that side of it. That's one difference I want to see. How well does each side last throughout the day? Secondly, the very small differences that I can see straight away, and I saw them before I even started putting my powder on, is the kind of brightness that I have under the eyes. I feel like I have more brightness on this side than I do on this side. I'm not too sure how it's kind of like coming through on the camera to you guys, but I genuinely feel like I have more brightness there. I don't know if you have this. Some days when you conceal your under eyes and you feel like it's just not happening today, you know, like that those bags want to be seen. They want to be seen. It's like, I'm here. I just want everyone to know that I have some major bags under my eyes. It's like some days they just don't go. As in, like, it doesn't matter how much concealer I put on, it's still coming through. It's normal, guys. Honestly, it is normal. It happens. But it doesn't happen all the time. So there is a way to correct that, but honestly, most of the time people don't have the time for that. I just want to explain to you that that is normal, and I feel like when that happens, this is kind of how it would look, where I feel like I can still kind of see the hollowness here. And hollowness is very difficult to cover up with makeup. You can't, because it's an actual contour of the face. It's not so much a flaw or like a blemish. But I do feel like I have a cleaner finish here than I do here. And personally, I'm going to be honest, I know I've applied bronzer. I had a couple of people commenting on previous videos saying, you've just covered everything up and like you put your contour on and that and you went on top with your foundation. What was the point? I hope you saw before I put my powder on that, or before I put my bronzer on, you could still see both sides. So it doesn't cover it up. Now, I just want to explain to you, some people may say it's a foundation. Foundation means it's the first thing that goes on. Why are you applying it after? Now, let me think of an example. So for example, when you have a house, you have the foundation. Before you put the foundation down, you are still prepping the area. So for example, our skincare is prepping. Our concealer is like prepping, and then we're gonna go in with the foundation. The foundation doesn't mean it's the very first thing that goes there. You've still got to prep the area for that to make sure that it sits nicely and it ties everything in together. Another example I wanna give you is, let's just say that you have a wall. You've got the wall behind me, you've got loads of graffiti on there, and you want to cover it up. Now, you have the option. Either you can go like this side, you go over with paint, right? You go over with paint, you're still gonna see, it depends on the texture of the finish of that paint. If you go with a light paint, you're still gonna see that graffiti coming through. Medium to full coverage, you might just about cover it and keep going with some layers, and you're gonna cover up whatever graffiti is underneath. If you go like most people, you use a light to medium finish foundation, right? You've got graffiti on the back, you go over with a light to medium paint. You're still gonna see that graffiti very lightly coming through. So what you do is then on top, you go in and you try and cover up those areas that you can see. The problem is it leaves a patchy finish. It's not even, it's not seamless. And then you've got your foundation and then a bit of concealer on top, and it's all a bit kind of patchy. For me, I didn't like the finish this gave me before I set it. I am yet to see how this kind of pans out for the rest of the day. I still do feel like I could have, like it wasn't as seamless for me as it was on this side. Now, if you have graffiti on the wall and you go in and you try and correct, like cover up that graffiti first, and then you go in with your foundation, you'll get a much seamless finish. Think of it this way. You have flaws, blemishes, dark circles, whatever you have. You put your skincare on. You then go in with your concealer to cover up any areas, or maybe color corrector because you want to correct the under eyes or any darkness or pigmentation issues that you might have. You've done all the covering, right? The foundation is there to give you a veil of color. It ties everything in together. Your concealer is to conceal areas. The way that I look at it, I have that concealer, I've concealed areas. Now I want to go on top with a really nice veil of color so everything looks seamless. That is called underpainting. It's a technique that a lot of pro makeup artists use, but a lot of pro makeup artists don't use. It really is down to what your preference is. I feel, especially when I'm working on clients, because don't forget, I work on so many different clients. One client wants a supernatural barely there look, another client wants like medium look, another client wants full on full cover, and they want to look completely transformed. No matter who I work on, no matter what finish they want, I will always apply my concealer underneath the foundation, because I know no matter what light they're in, no matter what, whether they're in like weird light, whatever color light they're in, I know no matter what, their skin is gonna look seamless. Like one area isn't gonna stand out more than the other. For example, if you put the concealer on top of the foundation, then sometimes, not all the time, you might see that difference there, because you can see the difference because you've got that lightness. Your concealer is a little bit lighter than you've got your foundation. Nothing's really tying everything together other than your powder, which is a completely different texture. That's just there to set it, not to change the overall look or appearance of your look. It's there to set it, although it does make it look matte for a little while until your natural oils come out. Now, I hope this has kind of like shown you the difference when it comes to application, and you may have seen a difference in however it looks now. It does look pretty uniform to me at the moment, but I am really interested to see how this looks later on and whether it looks patchy. I can already feel like it is slightly kind of like patchy around this area, and I do feel like I haven't got the kind of coverage on my under eye here that I would kind of like normally like. I feel like I can see that kind of light, that darkness around there, whereas on this side I feel like it's just completely nice and clean. So I'm really hoping you guys can see it. I know I definitely can. You guys might think, you know what, I actually prefer the other side, which is great, but it's all about what works for you. It's what makes you happy. It's what makes you feel comfortable and in your own skin. So I feel this side is better for me. I know for a fact this is gonna last me all day because I do my makeup like this every single day. I'm very intrigued to see how this side lasts all day, because at the moment, it's great, I think, for day to day, but there's no change in the amount of time it took me, so there's no reason for me to really do it this way as far as I can see so far. So I would still continue this way, but we've got to see how long this lasts, and we've got to see how it looks after several hours. Not only which side lasts longer, but which side still looks kind of flawless, and I still feel like that concealer is doing its job, the contouring is doing its job, and everything just looks like it stayed in place, and I don't need to really do anything to it. So I'm gonna come back a lot later on because I'm heading out now, so I wanted to show you the time so that you know what the time is. Let's show you. There you go. It is 3:21 and I am gonna head out now, and I will come back a little bit later. Okay, so I am out now. I've been out for a few hours, so I've kind of let this settle down a little bit, and I personally prefer this side, which is the side that I've applied my foundation on top of the concealer. Again, like I said, it really depends on what you prefer. I just wanted to show you in this light, which is like kind of normal light that you would kind of go out in. It is a bit dark now because it's quite late in the afternoon, early evening more so I just wanted to show you, but I do want to show you once I get home and in my studio with like full lighting so you can have a proper look at it as well. So I thought I'd just quickly show you while I'm out. I'm going to finish off my evening and I'll see you again. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so I am back. So the time right now is 7:35, as you can see there. I just wanted you guys to know what the time is. And I wanted to be completely honest with you about what I've been doing. So I've done quite a lot this evening. Obviously, we took a little kind of short snippet of while I was out earlier. And I really wanted you guys to see what this looks like in normal daylight as well. But now you can see what this looks like with studio lighting. And in some places that you go to, there may be like kind of really bright light like this, maybe, I don't know, in certain restaurants, and especially in kind of like malls and stores and places like that, there'll be similar lighting to this. So I think it's good that you can see the difference, if any. To be honest, right now in this light, I don't see too much of a difference. I feel like this side has also lasted pretty well. This is the side where I've applied the concealer on top of the foundation. Although this may be just me, because I can see it so kind of close up, I can see slight like more darkness on this under eye area, and I feel like this side is just a lot more brighter, considering I applied my concealer underneath my foundation. So you could say you could add more concealer there, true, although I still kind of prefer this finish on this side. I feel like it doesn't look as worn. It's kind of like worn, you know, like I haven't worn it for ages. It still looks pretty fresh to me. So I personally still prefer the concealer underneath the foundation. It seems a little bit more seamless to me. I can see the kind of difference here very close up of, you know, where I've kind of sculpted here compared to the rest of the face. Although on this side, I feel like it's just very seamless. So it really is down to personal preference. And like I said, it's quite late now. So, you know, I wanted to just keep it real with you guys. You might decide that you prefer this side. You might decide that actually there's not too much of a difference. So why is there such a big kind of thing about applying it underneath or before? And I know not all of you may think this, but I've had so many people commenting saying, why would you do that? But as you've seen, like even when I applied my foundation on top of my concealer and the contouring, it still comes through. And even though you yourself watching, maybe you might be that person that kind of thinks, oh, well, the only way to do it, or the way that I have seen everyone doing it so far, is applying your concealer on top of your foundation. So therefore that is the right way. There is no right way. It is dependent on your style, what you prefer, what looks better on you, what you think looks best on you. So go with what you feel looks best on you, and go with what you feel works better for you and is quicker or easier for you to do. So I would go away, try both sides and decide for yourself. I just wanted you to see it for yourself as to why I prefer this side. Hopefully you see it too, but if you don't, then that was the whole point of this video, for you guys to see whether you see a difference or you don't see a difference. So there you go. These are both sides. So you've got the concealer on top of the foundation and the concealer underneath the foundation. And I really do hope that this is kind of like shown you that it doesn't mean that one side only works and the other side doesn't work. It really is a case of what you prefer. I don't think I'll be doing the concealer on top of my foundation. I don't know, maybe it's just me used to doing it this way as well, but I do personally see a slight difference. I just feel like I prefer this side, but try it out yourself. And if you do try it, please do let me know which one you prefer. But I do hope that this has at least kind of shown you that there is no right or wrong way. It's just your style and what you prefer doing. And please, 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 there are so many kind of YouTube videos out there saying this is the way you have to do this is the way you have to do that. It really is down to personal preference, and it's about what suits you and what you prefer. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I really do hope that this has given you an idea of which side maybe you would prefer. Now, as always, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you don't miss any of my future videos. Until the next video, take care, and I'll see you soon.